suppose you know her very well, but I would like to tell some story about Nathalie Crasset. I know her since a long time, and I realized that Nathalie Crasset helped me in my evolution in considering what is design profession. In my opinion, Nathalie Crasset is one of the designers that in a certain way has understand how has to change in this period. We can call it fluid, we can call it changeable, as you like, how the design profession has to change and how the needs of people are changing, and this is very important. And I remember, I was really impressed. I can remember exactly which year was a lecture in Salon du Meuble à Paris, Charlotte Perriand. Allora, was still alive, Charlotte Perriand. At this period now, unfortunately, she's dead. This period was 94 years old. And Charlotte Perriand, she came dressed in pink, I remember very well, with pink, this is an homage, okay, with pink New Balance, and with a nice ribbon pink on the hair. And was a sort of confrontation between Charlotte Perriand and the new generation of lady designers. And among them there was Nathalie Crasset, there was Ineke Hans, there were Claire Escalon, and I remember another one, I can't remember. But okay, don't worry. And Charlotte Perriand started talking about his life, his how, in which way she met Le Corbusier, and she told us that she went to the studio of Le Corbusier because she won a competition, and she presented herself, and she said, I would like to work with you because I am very able in design. And Le Corbusier at the end said yes, and for the first time that the lady was in the studio of Le Corbusier, and Charlotte Perriand said, I am sure that he selected me not for my work, but for my beauty. I remember very well. So he's still 94 years old. And she started to talk the story of his work. And the first and often she said, we have vision, we would like to change the world as designers. This is our mission, the idea to make designers to change the world. We are avant-garde, we have vision. And I feel, said Charlotte Perriand, that now no one has this aim like me, like before. No one is so strong in the idea of completely changing the world. And I remember very well the answer of Nathalie Crasset. Nathalie Crasset said, it's a different way to change our way. No more revolution as in the past, but is a homeopathic transformation. This for me was very, very important, this idea of homeopathic transformation. No more like before, like the historical avant-garde, the idea of a revolution, but of homeopathic. Homeopathic, it means step by step. And, in my opinion, this is exactly what we have to do. Step by step, looking carefully what happens around us. And this is the way in which Nathalie Crasset go on in his profession of design. And if you look at all his production, you realize that each piece done has some little invention and invention for transforming the way of living. She's very attentive at looking in which way we are going to live. Not in a traditional bourgeois way, but in a contemporary way. One of his first pieces, the Cangime monte à Paris, presented at the Salone Satellite, is a basic idea, but no one has this idea before. An idea just to have a bed that you can fold and put in a corner, and this for the young people when you have a friend coming, and it's very easy to make the second bed for some friends. No company has got, no designer has got this idea. You can have backpack if you want, but no one has before this idea. And she made also a sofa in polystyrolo for the child. And this is an idea composed by block. You can play, it's soft, it's a sofa, you can compose, you can change the shape. And each items of Matali has behind a very intelligent idea. And this is very, for me, very important. And I would like also to remember two projects we make together. The first one was in the 2000 for the Biennale Giovane in Torino. I was the curator of the design section, and they asked me to invite a European designer, one for each country. So I invited, and we had some sponsors also, and obviously in Torino, Fiat was one of the sponsors. And I asked Nathalie Crasset to work on the idea to make something for the car, for the Multipla Fiat.
Don't tell it all.
Eh?
Don't tell it all.
No,
I can explain it because I'm not showing this one. The second one I'm showing it.
I'll show it.
No, not this one.
The second one, which one? Casaderma? Okay, this I explained, the other one I don't explain because Nathalie has a picture. And so we met in Paris and I said, Nathalie, we have to do something with the Multipla, and the idea was bright. And was a sort of performances, in fact, because they were two, Nathalie and Olivier Pericot. Olivier imagined a sort of cover for the car, but not the usual one, black, but designed just to make the parking something artistic. So if you cover the car instead of the black cover usually you can buy everywhere with something decorated, immediately you can have parking like pieces of art, a patchwork of pieces of art. And this was a side of Olivier Pericot. And Nathalie invented, the name is Towning Kit, and is an idea. On the top of the car there is a sort of a sort of bag in which big luggage you can open, in which there were some thread and skate and a suit for skating. And the idea is to use the car just to, as we say in French, flâner. Not rushing, but flâner, just to looking around, just to take pleasure. And the idea is to follow the car with the skate. So there are two elastic. No, it's not elastic. It's something you can handle, and a special suit just conceived for the skate. And we find some guy able to skate, and all in Torino there was this Multipla with a skate toy behind, was very, very nice. And so this is a good idea. But behind this idea, if you consider was 2000, was just a reflection on a new way to use a car. And we discuss in this moment to slow the car, to use in a different way. To use just to take fun, to use just to go slowly, to look around, not in a hurry, not speedy, and kind of like this. And it was very important because now, on the newspaper, every day you read about this idea. Also, if there is too much still going in the city, but there is this idea. But in 2000 was very avant-garde, this idea to use, and he mixed the idea to go skate, like in Paris, there are the skaters that met together, and the idea to also make tourism under bracket in your town, because we are tourists also when we go abroad or we go somewhere else. But we can be also tourists in our town, and maybe we can discover some side of our town. No one considers that we can be tourists also in our town, and it's very important to be tourists in our town. This is an idea to be tourists in our town. Okay? So Nathalie can go on with the other project.
Thank you. I shot this picture made by two friends, artists, just because just to explain that I prefer life than object, so that's why it's a good introduction. When I did a school in Paris called l'ENSI, it's a high school, you made 5 years to learn industrial design, and then I just came to Milan and Studio Santa Chiara for 1 year. It was very important for me because Dennis is a very human guy, and it was my first, it was really a pleasure to work with him and to give me confidence in my ideas. And then I go back to Paris and I start to work with Philippe Starck. I did it 5 years, and for a big company called Thomson Multimedia to do electronic goods. I would just start with this project. So when I leave school, I already had two main concerns. One was one theme was to work around domesticating the technology, and the other one was domestic rituals. And I keep on working on this theme right now. So when I leave, when I enter the Team Tom, so I was belonging to the Starck team, and I was working for Thomson. It was a long time ago already, I don't know, 15 years ago? No, less. I don't remember. Yeah. So the market was full of black box, you know, with big buttons, and so the idea was to go back to the essential, to take out the black box, and if you took out the black box, what is remaining? First, the sound. So the idea was to get back to the sound and images. So that's why I designed this radio. It's a radio clock. So you have first the sound exiting from this part, and then just behind you have the PCB, the board, and the board is used as a panel, to select and to use the radio. So this was very useful as a typology at that time, but it's really what we wanted to do with Thomson. Thomson was doing like a cultural revolution with Starck, and we had the opportunity to change the rules and to break the codes in order to bring something more human, and the idea was not anymore the manipulation, but much more to concentrate on sound and images. So I did 30 different objects like that, just like this radio, tape. So once more, you have the idea to go back a little bit to the first radio, so with the sound, and these two parts. One is the radio, the other part is the tape, and we just I did this hierarchy of functions, so you really know how to use it, because the buttons are not near the places, the buttons are near the tapes, and before it was like, you know, a car with a lot of knobs, you never know what to do. We had different colors, and the idea was also, this is the back, you can take the handle, the round handle, and you can transport this radio. And to move the volume, you just have to do this gesture on the border. So for me, it was a kind of fairy tale working with Philippe Starck, and working also with the team of 25 designers. I was responsible of the structure, the team term, and so it was a big adventure, a human adventure also. When I left this group, I go back to Philippe Starck Agency, and I stay 6 months there to deal with like a project of art directing, and then I decided to left because I think I was ready to bring my own studio. And I go on with, for Thomson, we just had the opportunity to do projects for the market, but also perspective vision. So this is a cube. The idea was to think about the post-tape TV. So I decided to create this projector to be integrated into the at home. So the idea was to use glass because Thomson is a glass producer. They were doing cathodic tube, you know, so they have a big factory of glass. So that's why I was doing this body in glass. And as you know, people are talking about immateriality, but are we really ready to not to have objects around us? So it was a kind of testing object. So the idea was to say you can still have the small picture, so you can look the small picture like in a TV. But then when you want to share it, you have this knob on the top. You just push there, and this metallic head will project the picture through the screen, which is becoming transparent, and you get a bigger image on the wall. So in a way, it was my way to try to domesticate the technology and find something which makes sense with looking at the TV or looking at film at home. So I did go on with this kind of project alone in my studio. I work for SEB, it's a huge group, French group, and they asked me to do a small range for young guys. When you take your first apartment, so you buy a boiler, you buy a toaster. And once more, the idea was to concentrate on this connecting you can have everywhere at home. So this product are not anymore dedicated to the kitchen. And then I just want to do a bottle, because for me the boiler is to cool the water, and to come back to this idea of using plastic for what it could do. The best it could do, it means bringing translucidity, and also using the technical plastic to be able to take the boiler, and so to avoid these big bulky envelopes around, and to, as you can see, there is a technology, but the technology is digest. This is a coffee machine belonging to the same range. You put the coffee in the middle, and then you put the water on one side, and then the coffee is mixed, and then you can have the coffee. And it was possible because it's only for 2 people, and you use this coffee machine to serve the coffee. And then the third is a more hybrid project. The idea was to do a toaster, and I just proposed not to do only a toaster, but to use a heating system in order to cool a pizza or somehow. So using once more the same connecting system. So this is a little bit the kind of project I'm developing, and then I decided to make pieces of furniture, and I wanted to do it in my own way. So the first pieces I never did furniture in school. It's a real industrial school, industrial design school. So I create a small range of furniture called the Friend of Nathalie, taking the specificity of my friend to do the brief for the project. And I ended with this first project called When Jim Come to Paris. I've shown it in the first satellite in Milan, and it was for me a test. If the people like it, I will go on with doing furniture, and the people are not interested in this kind of proposal, I will stop. And I get quite a good results, because it was, as you can see, a kind of E.T. at that time, no shapes, but only the shape of the hospitality. because when you push this column, it's becoming a bed. And it's not only a bed, it's also the idea of having this lamp and this alarm clock in order to be able to propose much more easier to somebody to stay at home. So I go on with this kind of logic, and because right now at home it's a place of individualism also. It's very strange, but so I try to fight against that. We could fight by doing private home, but also more pieces of furniture. So I did this kind of structure, very simple object like a carpet, made in felt, and all these products are produced by Noé Perez. This is 15 years ago also. And it's called Oritapi, so it's just the idea of using a carpet and then you can do a small tent. It's a small range, so you have a tent or you have a boat, and you also have a small pig, so you don't recognize the pig and you roll it, and then you can play on the pig and so on. So and with the same idea, I developed this project called Thermique Construire, because I think the big problem at home is that we are living with Bourgaise coats, and we all have these big sofas, and we try to buy a very expensive one, the more expensive than the neighbor, with leather and things like that. And before the sofa was made to invite people, but now you have a small table and you have the TV set on the top, in the front. And that's why, and then you have people saying, I don't have any space at home. But in fact, when you see this big sofa taking so much space and being like a black hole the rest of the day, it's strange, you know, how are we handled with such structure? So I decided to make this message project. It's called Thermique Construire, allowed to build. And what I forget to say is normally when you buy and so expensive sofa, then the kids are not allowed to play with this investment, you know. So, but life is life, and so at the end they took the cushion and they play with it. So, kind of frustration going on. So the idea is to, at the opposite, to make pieces. You just need a wall to use it, and then they can really play with it. So it's another point of view. So as you can see, I'm really interested in evolving structure, because to be contemporary for me is not meaning of having a big piece of foam, you know, which is taking you and becoming passive, but the opposite, to give you the possibility to do things. And this is a bar. My boss has to do a bar in a fair called, I don't remember. It was the first bar I did. I didn't want to take this, this rented chair, because at that time we didn't have the Stark chair, you know, not some you could rent, but it was awful. So I decided to take this bag and to put foam inside and to invite people to take 1 or 2 bags and to do their own space. And it was a marvelous project, because people, except of going out for the fair in the evening, was remaining in the bar at night in the fair. So we did this project in the Musée des Arts Déco. See, it was another step. And then this became a structure for at home, because as you can see, you could do your sofa. And if you need space, you do a pile with the blocks. And if some friends are coming, you really can invite them to have a seat, and you put a small tray on one, and it becomes the famous table. And so it's my way of doing a living room, in fact. And this is a project I've done with Edra I don't remember, a long time ago. And all these pieces, it was a collection called Digestion. So the idea was to take existing things and to re-inject life inside. Yeah. A long time after, I was invited to show my work in Stockholm, in the Magazine 3, And I did use the same structure, but as you can see, you have straw, printed straw, like pictures of straw, just because I wanted to think about my childhood. I was in a farm, and all my childhood, I just did build some tunnels and some houses with big piles of straw. So I brought it from this period. So I can show you right now some project I did for big company, mainly Italian company. This is an Artemid light I did, very simple. You know, light is quite magical. Suddenly the light is becoming hair, and it's magic. So I wanted just to make it the source light as possible. So you have this round ring, and then you have just this blue glass and this ring effect. So you see when the light is becoming hair. So it's very light, and we did a long research because I think that this kind of light fluorescent is quite aggressive. So we just developed this structure with bubbles on it. So the idea was to cut the rays of light in order to get something more cool and more soft for the interior. This is the global piece. And another project of land made for Danese. I really like this company because the idea is doing like lasting project, you know. So I just proposed a very simple idea to take this leaf of wood and to use just to fold it, very simple, a little bit like how they did 20 years ago, 50 years ago. You have a metallic structure, a different size, a different range, and perhaps the piece I prefer is this one. It is a suspension because it's very simple. You know, as you can see, you just attach it. So you buy a wall and you construct yourself the piece, and there is this metallic part, very simple, and you use the plasticity of the wood to attach it, and it's very light. And as you can see, the light is very soft because it's going through the wood. So I'm invited to do exhibition in galleries. So I'm not showing, I'm never showing pieces of furniture, more showing ideas. So this table is called travesti. I don't know how you translate it in English, but travesti. So the idea is to say that a table sometimes is used to cook. So you have a specific wall, dressing. You can cut, you have accessories. Then you can use the same table to have a dinner with friends, and then you have another dressing for working. This is an idea to be shown in a gallery, but then after I'm doing a real project. And this project is a table with tray. Let's take an example. The idea is I'm working, and lunch is arriving, so I put all the stuff, my computer, paper, and pen on one tray, and then this tray is becoming a shelf. I have more tray than space on the table, so I take the white tray, and I put plates and the meal, and I just push the tray, and I put the activity of eating in the center of the table. It's just about what I really like to do, to bring life and to work more on the idea of a scenario. Not only doing a project is a function, but much more to work on the idea of bringing fluidity through activities. This is a project that I made for the D-Day, Design Day in Beaubourg. The idea is to work with it's a structure you could have at home. It's you have a sofa, as you can see, and you have this tree. This tree is in fact the place where you store all your music and some text also in numeric. And the idea is to give space to the author. So you have blue author for music, and this little leaf of yellow are for text. So the idea already is not having, like right now with the MP3, a list, but more to have the possibility to connect, you know, to this branch, for example, is a branch of your friend, because music is much more about having this kind of living, tree. So sometimes a new interest is growing, and then another one, and so on and so on. And with the techniques right now, the technology, you really listen to the last one, but you forget about the past. And so the idea was to work more with the idea of showing the author, it could be an author of music and author of text, and you select some of them and you go in your sofa and you have an interface to mix the music and the text. So it was functioning in Beaubourg, and this piece is belonging to the collection right now. And you have these two flat loudspeakers and the bass in the bass. So I'm working also a lot I made a lot of different experimentation for space, like this one for Inflate, for an exhibition called Hair in Monaco. So it's a place where you go, you sit in a big plate and you play with the hair. Or this one is a vision of a bathroom for Don Pracht, the German company. The idea was not to do a real project, but really to do a vision of a bathroom. So I decided that a bathroom could be this type of labs, where you learn about your body, because we forget about the body, and also a place where you can learn about plants at the same time. So it's a kind of process where you learn what the plants could bring to you. So that's why it's called Phytolab. There is no mirror, because the idea is not to see yourself, but more to feel. And as you can see, there is a kind of mix between artificial and natural. And so this is the bath, and you have a small board, so you can cut and so on. So it's a small scenario, just to understand that you as a human being, we always did artificial, and in a way, the idea is to know better right now what are we doing with natural and artificial. And another room was dedicated to the bath of light. It's luminotherapy. So the technique is ready right now. They use luminotherapy to care about depressed people in the north of Europe. So this idea was it was in a gallery, so the idea was to do a cube where you could go and take your light. It's scientific proved. We need light, and it could be artificial light also. So just to say that now we are ready to have this type of structure at home. And then this is Gazadère. So it's a project I did. What was it? In Florence, yeah. And I wanted it was a very simple idea. I just decided to use a specific elastic fabric. It was a lycra. It's a specific lycra, a new one, called Sensitive. And the idea was to do a square shape with a sleeve. And I duplicate this shape. And the idea was to work the inside and the outside at the same time, because normally there is architect and there is interior architect and nothing to do sometimes, but it's a very complete different mixed. So using this sleeve to alter structure, but also using this sleeve to bring what we need at home, like the skin. And you can make the air, you can make the electricity, the light arriving in the center. And I don't know if it's really visible here, but you really get two different feelings with the same structure, because in the inside, with this type of elastic structure, it was very soft, and from the outside, it was completely different.
It's the idea when I invited Nathalie Grasset, because I was consultant for a fashion fair named Vic Uomo, and always sometimes I would like to make some installation with fabric, because fabric is basic for fashion. And so they suggested me to use lycra. Lycra is very elastic and existing in very different elastic power, no, more elastic, less elastic, more deep and less deep. And the idea of Matali is to make a sort of house, in fact. And if we consider now, in this moment, when Matali did, was not so consciousness about the idea of temporary house, of refuge. And if you consider there is in Triennale, a house for everybody, done with 15 umbrella, or by Tengo Kuma, or with pack of waste done by other one. This was very avant-garde idea, because it was some meter of fabric. You can have a shelter, but also a way to organize your stuff, because you can put inside this sort of sleeve all the stuff. And I remember we went out to buy dishes, cup, and it's easy to put inside, so you can organize your existence minimum also with all the items you need for living everyday life. This is very interesting, without piece of furniture, only fabric.
This is an unusual project. I did this in the north of France. You have a very old tradition, and they learn pigeon to fly, and they do races with that. It's very important in the north of France because they were miners, so they were in the dark all the day. Miners, it's called, yeah. And then when they go out, the idea was to look at the sky, so it was a kind of therapy, you know, for them, for these miners. And also to look at the sky, to look at the bird flying, so this idea of liberty, you know. And also to give them the chance to become somebody else, because the miners could earn some living from this practice. So it's a very important tradition in the north of France. We have a foundation in France called Fondation France, and they have a new program called Nouveau Commanditaire, and it's allowed a small association, but also private, who has a very interesting idea to try to do it in a contemporary way. So they help you to build the project, they help you to select the designer, the architect, and the artist to end up with a contemporary project. So I did for them this tree, this pigeon loft, so it's made with a metallic tree. Then you have this structure in wood, and you can see, because it's the first common pigeon loft. Normally it's an individual practice. You have this at home, so you have it all in a small house in the garden or under the roof. And so the idea was for once to do share loft, pigeon loft for this small village. So this is, and then it's covered because they train the pigeon loft, so they want the pigeon to be sane and, you know, to protect them. So I did this opening just to give the idea of the light, you know, coming in the attic. So you have the light, and to keep this mystery, the kid could go and have a look inside. And it is how it looks like. It's 5 meters large and 6 meters high. This was the opening. And this red box is the hospital, because when a bird is coming from another pigeon loft, you have to be sure that he's safe before mixing it, so that's why he stays in the small box. This is the top of the hill, and we can see a little bit the inside. And it's made in wood, and you have this caillebotis, so you can clean it. And right now you can see, go inside, you have small exhibition, and this is Mr. Ballanbois, which is the person who is a commanditaire, who is, wanted to do this project, and the foundation helped him to do it. It's a very unusual project. This is a project I did in Shanghai, in China. I was in charge of doing the space, but also the graphic system for meeting between French creative person and student in China. So it was in a very interesting place in Shanghai, in an old fabric. So you have 3 buildings, And so I decided to take this brick building and to do this Y sign, and this Y will become all the center of the process to do all the shape, either for the graphic, either for the structure, to welcome the people. So let's visit a little bit. This is it was in 2004 in Shanghai. This is a logotype. It's an evolving logotype at different events, and here you have the different logo for the workshops, design, music, and so on. And this is the structure. So I did this poof where you can buy them if you don't need them. You see the poster here with the shadow of Paris and the shadow of Shanghai, and this sign, which is means the meeting. Sorry. And this is all the different things, like a small table to look at the portfolio, like the structure to put the computer, to look at the website, and the seat, which is really made with a Y, and you could use it in a different way. All has been made very fast in China. I just sent drawings, and then when I arrived, it was like that. So this is important to say that you really need to draw if you want to do a technical drawing, if you want to work for outside foreign companies. This is a project I did in Paris for a big store. For 2 months, Le Printemps. Alain Passard is a very interesting cook because he was the first to reintroduce vegetable and all vegetable, and so he was invited to make a restaurant in a big store. So I decided just to do this rhizome like a screen, because I wanted to be more a little bit away from this life of the department store. And it's a rhizome. I did also the lamps, so you have the light coming through and making some green shadow. The idea was to do a kind of an exceptional time in this big department store. You had the possibility really to test what Alain Passard is proposing normally in its own restaurant, which is very expensive, and here it was very affordable. So I did use this châtaignier to bring the structure, to give the idea of being in the countryside. And this menu is like a small bag of seed to be stable. I did this plates with Bernardo, and so on and so on. This is perhaps the more important project I've made. It's called the High Hotel in Nice. It's my first global project, so it's a hotel. 5 years ago, I met 2 young guys, and they had a castle, and they transformed it in a hotel. And they wanted they quit the castle, and they decided to do a very contemporary place. So this is a website just to show that you have different type of rooms. So we thought that the hotel is the best way to test and to see what contemporary means, because when a lot of people are afraid of contemporary art, so when they go in the galleries, but they are also afraid to buy pieces and to go and buy contemporary pieces, because they really don't know what they could do and how they could integrate this at home. So the idea was to say, we will not do design, shopping design, but we will show that design is more about giving scenarios of life, that there is a big diversity of these scenarios. So design is not about having all in chocolate and beige and a point of red, but we can also use all the palette of the colors. So it's an existing building on the 30s, so we just changed nothing, just the color on the front, and we just really did all in the inside. This is a lobby. It's not an ostentatoire, a lobby. So it means when you enter normally in this type of hotel, it's a 4-star. You never ask for the 4-star, but it's a 4-star level. The idea was not to say you are the best of the world, but just more that when you enter in the lobby, all is around you is meant to be moved and to change, just like this armchair color interface I did. I use a color to connect them, and so as you can see, you have a purple color on the back or a fuchsias, and so you can do change like the center. So the hotel is a very living space. It's very different in the morning from the evening, and also all what you get around is for you, so you can really use all the structure. Let's have a visit inside the rooms. In all the rooms, you have 9 different rooms. You have concepts. In this room, the idea is to say nothing on the wall. So you have a big tray with all the services, exactly what you get normally: a bed, a seat, water. Sorry. And you have a vegetable screen, and then you have a big glass cube to do your shower. Only the toilet in a smaller house. And so and I choose the terrace because when you're outside, you are more informal. So you really can sit on this terrace, which is 30 centimeters high. And living in this place, it's not that big, but it's like a feeling of breathing, you know, and having just all around you, so you can invite your kids to sit in the same platform, and so on and so on. You have 9 different concepts. Like this one is called digital. As you can see, there is a poof you recognize, so you take them and you go in the small terrace. This one is kind of idea so you can inject creativity inside the home. So you have the TV in the center, but you also have a display showing a website and creative project. Another one is called Techno Corner. So the idea in this case was to orientate, to separate the room between the bed and the bathroom, but by a big screen. So there is it's how it looks like. So it's a projection, and you can either look at it from one part to the other. Nearby this bath tube, you have a big sofa with sound integrated inside, because we have a partnership with a label called FCOM. And when you take this room, you can know an artist, a musician, and you have all the music he has made. And we did all specific because we wanted to have our own logic and to make the people discover that design could be diverse. Like this one is called layers. So the idea is not to live in an horizontal way, but to live in a vertical way. So you have the layer of dreaming on the top, blue one, then you have decompression. Decompression goes with the toilets. So you take some step to go there. And it's just like a concept. By doing so, you keep you gain a lot of space under these places which are up. Then you have the yellow layer, which is to get energy, and so on and so on. And to store it, just have podest all around you, and you put your stuff in the podest. This one is called white and white, sorry. So as we are in Nice, the idea is to feel, you know, when the color is is going from white to a kind of light yellow with the sun. So the white is the best to be done. And I just took archetype, existing archetype, like this table is becoming a bed. Why we always do the same structure, the same height? You know, when you are in a design school, we just explain that to sit is 40, to sleep is so and so. But we can organize things in a different way. This room is a duplex, so you have a small staircase, and you have a big terrace with a jacuzzi on the top. So it's really dedicated to wellness, and invite a fashion designer to do wardrobe, because I wanted everybody to feel comfortable to go outside with a real clothes, not this big bulky sponge thing, and so I did this proposal. And I will show you also the last proposal is called Up and Down. So you have this shell going all around you. Once more, it's made in Châtelier, just to explain that doing contemporary is not forgetting about all the techniques we know, all the know-hows, at the opposite. It's very interesting to have this wood, to have this technique carving wood, to use it to make a shelf and to have resin. All the hotel is made in resin. Normally you don't have any curtain. All the fabric would be clean because we want to be an hypoallergenic hotel. This was 5 years ago when we decided to do that. Let's see a little bit the common spaces. It's an organic food, so this is a host table when you come in the morning to have your breakfast. And so as it is an organic food, I decided to have an open kitchen, no minibar in the room, you know, because in this minibar you have chocolate, cacahuètes, and these not so wealthy things. So the idea is that even if you want to eat something, you can go there, it's open every day and night, and you take something fresh. And so that's why I opened the kitchen like that. It's open for everybody, and then you have this table, the small courtyard, and this is nearby the table. You have this structure. I wanted to be just a kind of structure like that, levitating structure, just because at the beginning of the century, this type of hotel nearby the Côte d'Azur, they were always making like a masterpiece, you know, to show the craftsman to the know of the craftsman. So this is my way to do that. And I did a specific tableware. So the idea, as we are in organic foods, is to test the quality of the ingredients, and not anymore to have the big plate with a lot of things inside. Sorry. And it's also the idea to connect. And so if you take a coffee, you have a small plate in the center, and with the sugar and biscuit, and you can have the coffee all around. And in the evening, it's really completely different because you have an artificial light, and there is a lot of sound event. And this is Laurent Garnier, who is one of the best DJ in France. We came for the first anniversary. I'm doing the flyers for this proclamation. The top of the building, we did a small, very tiny pool. It's not a swimming pool, it's a pool just to get fresh water. And as you can see, the idea was not to do a seaside hotel, but really an urban hotel, because it's open all the year long. And you can see the Negresco, which is a famous also hotel in Nice. And now the city is giving these two examples, the Negresco and the High Hotel. So this was the first global project I did. And I was invited to do a little bit the same, but for a museum in Holland. It was a Prague art museum, tiny, and they were looking for a space. So they decided to change, to make a metamorphosis, because they just wanted not only to show any more glass, ceramic and jewelry, but also to invite contemporary art. And they decided to go in a very new area, in an old fabric. So I was in charge of making this metamorphosis. They chose the name SMS. It's a museum from the city, so it's very important to understand that. And it's in Hertogenbosch. When I saw the building, it's a very interesting building. It's a long building with the light coming from the roof, and it's a shed. You know this building with this kind of roof? It's very interesting. Yeah, industrial one. So I decided not to touch the building, but to do like plants growing inside to provide life. This is a space where you have all the services, and this is a place where you have the exhibition. And the idea also is normally the budget was not that high, so I didn't want to have a cover for the wall, and also I didn't want to touch the wall and the floor, so I wanted to have this structure line inside, in the center for the circulation, also to be in the center, to do things in the center, but also to bring all the flux, the electricity and so on more easily. This is the facade, so as you can see there is a long building, and this is an extra building. It was a storage, and you have these two entries, with the entry of the restaurant and the entry of the museum. And we did this big panel because it's a new hotel and the new museum, and the train is coming, passing in front, so the idea was to recognize. And this is how it looked like inside. So you have this space where you have storage, you put your computer, you plug the cupboard. This is what they call the knowledge center, where you have the magazine and books. And the other side you have the small shop. And what you can see, the door is the auditorium. So the idea also was to integrate the people working there, because in some cases, in most of the cases, they were in smaller office, not in contact with the visitor. So the idea was to really have the possibility to everybody to work in contact with the visitor and to have places to sit and this is, oh, sorry, whoops. And this is the auditorium. In this auditorium, it was a kind of storage with no acoustic quality, so instead of doing all the cover with, to use all the budget for covering the walls, I decided to make this plant becoming three-dimensional, to be able to wear the lights, to wear all the video system, and also to feel comfortable in a tiny place to look at conferences. So these beams are acoustic panels. This is a small shop, so as we have a lot of fragile objects, the idea was to go around, except of going inside. It's like being in the street and you look at the stuff and you ask if you want to buy something. And this is the restaurant. There is a small lighting separation, and you see the open kitchen. It's a very good cook. The Dutch cuisine is existing. And so you have the open kitchen on one side, the open bar on the other side. In this space, the nervure in the center is becoming flat, just like a carpet. And this is a small, open kitchen. So this is the part where you have the preparation, and behind you have a real laboratory. This is the kind of meal you can have, pea soup. On the other side, it's a lunch part, so you can drink something there, and it's an innovative place. You could be very close open, and this is the place where the museum is really, and the exhibition space is beginning. So you put your wardrobe, and the color is over. You still have the central circulation, and we have these big places to do exhibition. We have this black box here to show videos and listen to music, and it's a huge place to make the exhibition. And in the back of you see another room with temperature control, so they can invite very specific and very masters, pieces of masters to be seen in this place. We did a small terrace here now, and so 1 year after the opening of the museum, they invited me to do a project. So I will just show you how I'm presenting an object when I'm doing an exhibition in a museum. It's called Spring Therapy because I really like the first day of spring. You want to go out, you want to meet a lot of different persons, you are curious. So I would like the design I'm doing a little bit in this way. And this was so different configuration. One part was around listening music and sound to have a different vision. This was a piece I have shown also in New York in the Kuboyowitz. It's an acoustic chamber made with cones. And you go inside, and I did a project with Oriol Konan, a Finlandese musician. So we did a kind of growing sound, and you feel little by little the sound becoming on your body. It's physical. And I did small animation to go with this. This is a view of the Kuboyowitz. Another project I've shown is called Immersion. So the idea is make a small boat, so no this time it's more mixed between technology and furniture. And so you just sit and let you go with this system with sound and images. And I'm showing inside an hypothesis of work I'm working on. It's called Splice City. As you can see, the idea is to work on a reticular way to build objects and not anymore to have this bulky plastic part around. And as you can see, this small guy, and we are built like that with different network, and this small boy is also connected to the network, so its imperative will become more responsible in a way. This is a kind of chandelier, it's called drop sound. You have a 3D effect with a very specific microphone when you're on a sofa. And also I use this drop in red, which is a microphone, because for me, we forget a little bit that music is a link between us, and we really like to improvise and make good moments by using the music. Because right now we all have a lot of portable devices, and we forget a little bit about how the music could be shared at home, for example. This is another project I did for outside. So it's a small, let's say, a small house, and it's you can text the pieces, and all the pieces are making furniture for the outside. And then I finished with this project, which is a small house. It's the opposite of a cocoon. You know, we always talk about the cocoon. A cocoon invites you to stay at home. And the opposite, this house invites you to go out and to do things, just like this is the toys of the kids, you know, to go to play in the garden, and you have a structure to help you to go outside. So the inside is, you could have a shower, you have a small table to repair and things like that. So you can invite activities and passion all around the room, the home. And at least I was showing this landscape, really artificial landscape, because I did a video clip for a group. So the idea was to show that the context of the video clip, and you can see the video clip. You could see the video clip on the border. After the high hotel, I was working with this fashion designer and this label of music FCOM, and we decided to do a shop together. It's called Lieu Commun, it means common space. So it's the opposite of a concept store. A concept store is bringing a lot of different things for everybody. You know, you have three or four projects of each. The idea is the opposite, to give the maximum of visibility of few designers in 3 different fields: design, fashion, and the music. So I just did this interior with this type of trees in wood. As you can see, it's very practical, it's flexible, you could change the presentation, you could wear shelves, this is communication, and you could wear bars, sorry, you could use satellite, and I did an exhibition in Luisa de la Piane 2 years ago for the Milan Fair with this system. And you can recognize the pieces always existing with colors right now. And the fashion designer is called Aurélien. He is doing a fair trade. He's producing in Peru. He's this big guy, and he's giving money to schools there and providing them meanings. Also clothes, and you can buy the same clothes in Europe, and the money is used to help the country. And as you can see, you see the functioning of the company in the t-shirts. This is the place where they work. And these are a few projects I did. This is for Gilles de Rennes. It's a city brunch. Pieces to have a more informal brunch at home, so it's made in porcelain, and you still have this type of different size of plates, but you can combine them. You just make a kind of flower in the center to share. This teapot with the mugs and containers. And this is a project I really like because just to extend the idea of doing a project not just around a function, but more about a scenario. It's a knife I made with the French pâtissier Pierre Hermé. So it's a knife you cut, sure, but then you just turn a little bit your hand and it's make the pelle à tarte. I don't know how you say this in English. So it's an aluminium body with silicone inside. It's look like that, and I did also the small package and it's a traditional company called Lyol. I'm doing also a project for the transmission. This is a very interesting project because it's made by the syndicates of fruit and vegetables. So you cannot imagine, normally they do advertising of not to become too fat and things like that. And for once they decided to do a space to invite cook to show how to cook vegetable and fruit. So that's why I did first this small market where you learn to recognize good fruit and good vegetable. And this is a small library because every chef who worked there leave a trace, and so you can have a look of the other. Yeah, it's called Fresh Attitude. And the first part is cooking. So I wanted to be in the middle of professional and private cooking. So you have this center here where the chef is organizing. He shows how to do, and then I do the corner because in the process, you know, at the end you have to do it alone, you know, to be separate from the cook and to have sure all what you to cook, water and oven and so on. And these are also satellite table, depending on how many people you get. And you have small podests, so it's you can welcome also children to do this atelier and how it looks like.
The space in which Nathalie Grasset did the project the name is Fresh Attitude, and in fact is promoted by the Association of Vegetable and Fruit, and is extraordinary. And I would like to tell some extraordinary stuff that you can find in Paris, that you have a space, and is an art gallery also, in which the curator always organizes exhibition on the subject of vegetables and fruit, inviting artists, and there was also an exhibition on picnic, exhibition on always concerning, and it's very interesting. I'm fond about this little gallery in Faubourg Saint-Denis.
It's interesting because these people have nothing to do with design, but in a way they want to act, you know. And it's really interesting to work with this type of people because they really are curious, perhaps more curious than sometimes people who are in the design scene. And this is an exhibition I did in Saint-Etienne. You know that we have a big project of city of design in Saint-Etienne, and I was invited to choose the theme and to be a curator and also the scenarist for this exhibition. So I chose cohabitation because I think the more important thing today is we learn to live together. So the idea was to show this idea of living together at home, in the city and in the world. The idea was not to show design pieces, but more initiatives, how people are invited their own way to work. So the idea was to first enter in this whole orange village, then you have a green parcours with small parks and building construction, and the rest was the outside was about the world. And we have 35 different themes, different small initiatives. I can't show you, but the only piece of furniture I've shown is from Nana Nilsson. It's a piece of 52. And she decided to cut the legs in 52 and to do this pedest in order to be very informal and to have the possibility to move things at home. So it was very interesting to place, at the beginning of this exhibition, this project. And then you had a lot of different things, just like inviting a photographer and an ethnologue to think about the vide-grenier in France, in Paris. Mainly the people are taking their whole object and they place them in front of their house and they sell them to the neighbors. So what does it mean today? So the idea was to make collaboration like that and to give a kind of thinking, material of thinking for designer, but also for everybody about how the society is evolving. And this is really what we need to work on. And was also displayed some projects, especially for kids, just like this tactile device, where the kids were invited to touch what they really, what normally they see in the city. It was in the city here, this cohabitation in the city, and they had to see if they recognize this. And I just handed a few projects. This is a project of a musician, a French musician, and they did a lot of travel in Africa. This is all the trace of the travel in Africa, and they did a small label to promote the African contemporary music and so on. And I did invite Kazuyo Komoya from Milan, but a Japanese designer, because I wanted her to display objects of Japanese, just to be able to see how the culture, the Japanese culture, is really transcending, really integrated inside the design. Even if this designer are living for a long time in Milan or in different places, you still feel that it's made by a Japanese. So it's something very interesting today to understand. And just like this project, it's a baby carrier, how you say that, when you hold baby on the body. And so I was showing this baby carrier of all the world, some of them, and I invite an illustrator, an artist to do illustration about how you hold the babies. This is about all different, yeah. This is a few new project I just finished. This is a weeping pillow. I was invited by a structure in Bordeaux, Arc-en-Rêve, and they think about how architecture could be different. So it's my proposal, and it's a very good, a very interesting story, because this plastic is a plastic made 12 with the potatoes of the place I come from. So, and it's a very interesting story, because we always talk about delocalization for big factories, but it's also existing for agriculture. And this company was closing a few months ago, and then somebody took over this company to produce plastic with potatoes. So I was really, I really wanted to do this project with this potato coming from my small country. This is a marble piece I showed in Milan. It has to be an exceptional piece. It's one piece, unique piece. So I decided to do this small robot with an Istanbul company of marble. And when you look at it far away, you think it's a big plastic piece, and then when you go closer, you see that it's marble. I really wanted to just make a kind of link with the pieces you had one time, and you always had this in Bocquet's interiors. You had like figures holding lamps, and so this is my way to do it in a contemporary way, and it's a functional part, because you can also use it in the entry to put your key or whatever, or in your room and so on. I did also this very interesting project in Milan for a park, and some designers was invited to do a project for a park, and I get the theme of odori, smell. So I did these spaces. You can have a look from far away, and it's all made in wood. So when you approach it, you feel, you smell this wood, and inside there is two different entries. And inside I just display plants. And so the idea was to give the chance for this kid to recognize plants we cook, plants we use for medicine, or different type of little bit of lemon inside, and so on and so on. This is also an interesting project I did with an American artist called Peter Halley. He invited me to do a project with him in the French gallery, the Opac gallery. And so the idea was to do these pieces. It's a small series, and I just wanted to do a piece which is just in the middle of a structure, and a sculpture, sorry, and pieces of furniture. And I've shown it in the Luisa de la Piana Gallery this year for the Milan Fair. So this kind of projects allowed me to work with craftsmen, and I think it's very interesting because after a year of standardization, you know, we had the possibility with this type of project to really change and make experimentation and produce different pieces, more experimental in a way. And I was invited by the people who are antiquaire in London and in New York. It's called Mallet, and they launched this project called Meta. The idea was to welcome people who are collectors of old pieces to collect also contemporary pieces. So the idea is to use the best craftsmen of the world, the best material, and to do product with that. So I decided to use the Pacton, which is an alloy of metal which was not existing. The production was stopped 200 years ago, and we will launch the production of this alloy because it's an interesting alloy, mixing like shiny and silver. And this is a lamp I did. I took the archetype of a chandelier, lantern, sorry, because in all the antique you have a lantern. So the idea was to say if you already have let's say a classic lantern or modern lantern, you could buy and have a chance to be interested in contemporary with this piece. So it's very specific. It's 2.5 years of work. This is a piece made. It's interesting also because I worked with the computer, but at the same time, you know, less and less craftsmen. Some craftsmen are not using these data normally, you know. So it's also another combination to work. It's La Fonte à Cire Perdue. So you can see the pieces. So all is connected. So it's a huge amount of work. The glass is a blow glass. So it's the only production plant doing like that in Germany anymore. So they do big bubbles of glass, they do cylinders, and then they put this again in the oven to get a flat glass. So that it gives, you know, this kind of glass with different halo in it. And I will finish with a project I just finished. After 5 years, after the opening of the hotel, High Hotel in Nice, we just opened the High Beach, in the Promenade des Anglais in Nice. So once more, the idea was to design a beach, not to just choose things. And so this is the first place. We have 3 different areas. This one is called E-Play. So the idea is to find a unique place. So it's just a little bit like the first, you know, when we did the first holidays at the beginning of the century. So you have a big comfortable mattress, and you have this structure, and you organize your soleil, your production. These are small mattresses for kids, and if you have a baby, you can stay in this space here to protect from the sun. So the idea is not also just to have a transat, but also to be able to change and to be in an active space. So that's why you have this table. It could be used for the lunch, but also the rest of the day by the kid. And this is a small structure I did for the lovers, you know, for a romantic dinner. So the idea was to go as far as I could near the sea. And so I used the structure to place a table and a tray. And this is at the opposite, the place which is the more calm one. So we use a lot of wood, a lot of vegetable on the beach. So you use the vegetable to pots to hold the umbrellas. And this is this table I did special using this part and having this small umbrella, so you can take them out and put them in a pot if you not want to have. And also the structure I did with Terracrea, so you can use the plant, but also it's used to put some books, so the people could have a chance to look at books. And this is so every time you have a place to stay near the beach, but also to stay together, you know, to play. And this is the massage room, so it's a more quiet part of the beach. This is a restaurant, and it's a global view. And we all did it specific, so the kitchen is a real, the cooking is a real laboratory. And I just handed you this very tiny, small project. I was invited by the company called Be Citizen. They just developed this idea of economy positive economy. And they asked me to do a trophy. And I just wanted to do a very small trophy, not for a very simple trophy, maybe a folding piece. And this piece is not, you can't hand the trophy like that, saying I am the best of the world. It's just more to take it in your hand. It's not fragile, but it's look fragile. Just to say that we are at the beginning of something and we have a lot to do. A lot is remaining to do. Thanks a lot. I just know what I'm doing the day after.
I can tell you that Erasmus is
so we are
organizing every.
So we are a very tiny team. We are 4. We don't want to be bigger because yeah, I think you don't do the same when you're a big company, a big agency, and we are a tiny one. And it's not the same people who knock at the door and ask you to do things. In
the museum in Holland?
In Holland, it was 2 years ago, I think. Yeah, 2 years ago.
There's a big integration with music. Have you ever
Yeah.
done any sound design or?
I'm not. Yeah, I'm working a lot of musicians, but I'm not doing song myself. As you know, the High Hotel is is a place where you have a lot of musicians coming and staying. So, and also the lieu commun. And so, for example, I'm preparing a project. One of the musicians came in the High Hotel and stays in every rooms, and he did a specific music for each room, and then we did a CD that for FCOM, and we are now doing a small spectacle show with this music. Nothing to do with what is the atmosphere of the hotel, not the hotel in this place. And it's very interesting because it's the first time I have to do a kind of display for a show. And so it's this kind of collaboration. I really like it. And France Culture, which is a radio in France, a very cultural one, as name is called France Culture. They asked me to do a program. It's kind of an invitation. And so I decided to do like a concept, like a virtual tree growing, and it's about vegetal things. And so you can meet in this program all kind of experts about vegetal. It could be very different type, and also doing a smaller comedy. So in this case, I just did a small character, and I'm also working with a scenarist, and I'm also working with a musician to do this small comedy for kids. And this small character is a mix of a human and a plant in a way. So depends on the opportunity I get, but I really like it. And I'm working a lot of different artists also, because after 10 years of trying to bring my own approach, I think right now it's much more important to work with different know-how and to share. And so the Saint-Etienne was an example of that. But I'm doing a lot of this share project right now, because it pushed the limits, you know. I should never have done this tree like furniture in wood if Peter Hallett didn't ask me to invite me to do a showy film. So it's interesting because it pushed the limits, you know, to work with different person and people who really don't have sometimes the same value, not the same value, the same character, the same ideas of what the contemporary work would be or something like that.
So they're not always friends, because it seems to be that you work always with people who are
but people are becoming friends. You know, the limit is very, it's very. I really like what I'm doing in a way, so I'm not making so much separation between my work and the professional and the private. So everybody could organize as they want, but in my case, first because I was born in a farm, you know, you can't put a farmer outside and in another context, and it's something, so that's why it's my way of doing things. Yeah, so yeah, it's interesting. In France, I don't know how it's working in Italy. It's very complex because I was really working with big companies like Tungsten, you know, and 10 years ago we launched already some projects, for example, to paint the TV sets with a painting with water. And so everybody did a lot of effort, you know, to launch this project. And then, after months, we realized that the company of the painting was not ready. So, you know what I mean? So it was a kind of frustration. Everybody worked a lot. We really believed it was a good choice. And so it just to show you that it's not only the idea of working one, you know. We have to have the global share. And mainly in some company, you don't even have somebody who is a specialist of ecology. So first, the company has to take a direction, because you can do very different things with ecology. So depending on your know-how, depending on the structure, you have to take a direction first, you know, to know what to do with ecology. And also you have to have experts, because it's even worse, you know, when you do this without any qualification or good expertise. So I think it's not ready right now in the big companies. It's still, no, it's going, the people are aware, there is a sensibility. So that's why also I did, my way of doing things in this field is also to have the possibility to sensibilize, to make a kind of sensibilization, like in Saint-Etienne, we had a specific exhibition on that. And I'm working in a very little company who really decided to do that, you know, just like using biological cotton or, you know, so on, fair trade, sometimes mixed together. So I'm really you working with this small unit, and it's interesting also because it's a different way of working. You know, it's just a different kind of relationship. You know, it's different values, and it's bring a lot to work with this small unit who decided 5 years ago, you know, to launch a small production or a small. So I'm more concentrate on this right now. So for the next project, perhaps, as it's a long collaboration with these people of the High Hotel. We do a small new hotel in the desert, in the Tunisia, the south of Tunisia. So this is the next step. Nothing to do with what you have seen in this. The idea is to see, to feel by yourself the fragility of the oasis. You know, we talk a lot about ecology, environment, but if you never have been in an extreme condition, feeling by yourself, what is it, missing water, what is it, you know? And in oasis, it's already like that, you know? In this part of Nefta, there is the third, I don't know, in Adriatic, you know, they just touch, they have to go very, very deep, you know, to find the water. So, and you really feel by yourself that if there is a lot of human activity, that it is fighting with the survival of the palm trees and so on. So it's a very tiny unit. All will be made in this place, nothing imported. And we will do all the interiors with the palm tree, and we do a small palm lab. So this means we do a kind of entity to think about what it could do with the palm tree. The palm tree, Palmeret, is in renovation right now. So there is a grand, sorry, I'm a little bit tired. There is a grand an idea of restoring the palm tree. Palmeret field, the palm tree field, and so the hotel will be a kind of support, you know, for by people to make research. It could be using these palms for doing textile or using. So we do all the interior with the palm trees already, and it's like an example of an application. It's very complicated because people, when you go and see the carpenter there, you know, they use the same wood than in France. So the globalization is always there in the last city of nearby the desert. But the more interesting in this project is this, you know, to show that we can change and you can have a different angle of view, even in this space, and to make the people, to invite the people to feel the desert. Because when you go in the desert, it's just like you just to have a kind of retreat, you know, to feel about you, your project of life, and also to feel there is a kind of part where you can care about yourself, your body. So it's this kind of project which is growing.
How much do ethics come into your projects when you're approaching new projects?
Could you explain it? I did not catch it.
Well, you know, listening to you,
yeah.
I hear a very strong sense of ethics in your approach, like compliments. And when you approach a project, for example, that could be an industrial design project,
yeah.
such as what you were doing with the plastics, how strong do you feel about the ethics regarding that product?
Mm-hmm. The ethics depend on the. No, in any case, there is a different way to do. You know, for example, in every project you could place the ethic in a different way. You know, sometimes it's more the idea to invite people to live in a contemporary with contemporary thinking, because I think also it's interesting to break the codes and to propose different logic. And I think what we need right now is just that, stop going on with logic of the past, of the last century, and to invent different ways. So little by little, I realized that I really like to do that because I like to work global, I like to work more in system, and I like to have the possibility to, because when you just do a piece of furniture, sure, you can do a lot, but you know, you can put the innovation a little bit there or there or there, depending on the partner. You have the possibility. But when you sometimes do something more global, and sometimes I'm not even doing a project, or I'm not even doing a materialization of something, you're just discussing, being like an art director for companies, discussing about how we could change the world, how we can work together in a different way, and how the design could be adjusted in a different way in the company, not even making a drawing, for example. So depend on the project and depend on the partner. And I think it's really what is arriving. Sometimes the design will not be perhaps only a place where you create material, where you materialize things, but it will be also a kind of engine, you know, to think about, to federate, to give energy to a project. And it's very challenging also, you know. It's not, you don't have to be afraid of that. At the opposite, it's very challenging and there is a lot of opportunity. Perhaps it be partners who are a bit different than the partner we know right now, but it's also very interesting to welcome them and make a kind of step together, you know, and to build different logic and so on. I think I like to liberate my team, the team which is doing the workshop, because there is a presentation tomorrow.
Okay, yes, they have to work with that.
And it's, I don't want them to do, how we say that, a white night.